I have yearned for this tea for so long, and now it's finally here. Let's drink it. Hey everyone, this is Sigi, and I've been drinking yancha lately. I am continuing this today, as I am extremely overjoyed to bring you a very special tea. Out of all of the teas we drank back in May of 2023 for our, let's say, shop selection endeavor, this was my number one, my absolute favorite out of over 50 different teas that we tried. And I'm finally back here today to show it to you all. The tea I'm talking about is the Wusandi Laocong Shui Xian. Yeah, it is yancha. It is the Shui Xian cultivar. This particular tea was harvested in May of 2021, and it is available on the nannuoshan shop for $64 for 50 grams in the US and $58 for 50 grams in the EU. Back when we tried this tea for the first time, I was completely blown away. I think that was genuinely like the most enjoyable yancha I've ever tasted. One of the most memorable ones for me as well. I've been waiting to drink it again this whole time. I had to wait until it kind of went through the shop system and then I'd be able to order some for myself. But here it finally is. And I think I've rarely been as excited to make a video about a tea as I have been with this one, because it is super good. Or, well, I'm drinking it for the second time today. I hope it is still as good as I remember it, because it was phenomenal. I'm just gonna finish heating up my water. I've got my 6 grams ready to go. I've got my 100 milliliter Gaiwan. You all know what's up. And yeah, all I need is some boiling water. Then we'll be good to go. And that looks very good. Oh, so excited to finally drink this again. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, but I shouldn't applaud this tea before I've actually drank it again. So I'm just gonna try to get right into it. I do have a few things to tell you about this tea. So once again, Wusandi Laocong Shui Xian. We've already gathered that it is a Shui Xian cultivar. Laocong, old bush. What does that mean in this case? So Shui Xian seems to be one of the kind of exceptions for Wuyi yancha, where people don't kind of go for younger, more vigorous plants and whatnot, but they actually let these plants grow up into bushes, and that's how we get Laocong, or old bush. Now, the old bushes from the Wusandi village are of particular interest because not only are they quite old, with a good number of them being 100 years or older, but they are never pruned. They are allowed to grow as freely and wildly as they desire. And of course, that's going to be reflected in the taste. One thing in particular that I found out about tea from this village, or this Shui Xian in particular, is that they say that the moss on these old unpruned bushes supposedly gives this tea two things. The first is a light foresty flavor, And the other one is described as never-ending sweetness. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Wusandi in particular is also quite famous for its old bushes. They have quite a lot of those and they are very proud of them. It is a village in the northwest of Wuyi at an altitude of over 1,200 meters, which, of course, is also going to affect the tea in a significant way. From what I've read, there's a lot of fog and mist up there, which makes things quite interesting. It definitely produces a flavor that's kind of different from what we'd see, for example, from a tea that was just grown on a cliff that's exposed to a lot of sun during its growth. These plants here maybe have to kind of struggle a bit more when it comes to that. Another fun fact about the Wusandi village is that about 80% of the people there have the last name Wu. And that is genuinely where the name of the village comes from, Wusandi. Supposedly it was founded by the three Wu brothers, hence Wu San, because that's three Wus essentially. And they've carried on the tradition of being called Wu all the way into the modern age. Yeah, enough about the village for now, because we have some tea to drink and to smell and to experience with all of our senses. And the like, it already starts from the aroma of this tea. It grips me and it doesn't want to let go. It's intensely aromatic and it's this beautiful mixture of, like, you definitely get that intense sweetness that they talk about with regards to the old unpruned bushes, but you get so much more. You do get some of that minerality that you'd expect. You get all sorts of different spices, and it all kind of blends together into this just wonderful fragrance. Okay, this is still quite hot, but I can't wait any longer. I need to drink this again. Of course, the tea liquor itself, also beautifully fragrant. It's... oh, that's so good. From the instant it enters your mouth, just everything is filled with fragrance, and it creeps up into your nose, and then you breathe in and out, and everything is filled by that aroma. It's... it gets stronger as you breathe in after swallowing. Usually it's after breathing out, but you breathe in and then it all comes back, and then you breathe out and it comes back up from your throat, and it all kind of combines. I'm almost at a loss for words because this tea is so precious, such a gem. And I just want to keep drinking more of it. And yeah, the flavor, it's intensely sweet and it really does linger. It stays in your mouth. It's constantly sweet, and that's why you taste it when you breathe in and out. Oh, God. And then there is that light foresty note in the background that's a bit kind of harder to grasp, but it creeps up underneath the sweetness, and then they combine, and ooh, it's good. It's so very good. I wish more tea were like this, honestly. god, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And it's so different as well from some of the other teas I've tried during that marathon, and the ones that I've tried after again at home afterwards. Like this, to me, is kind of in a class of its own. Not because these other teas are necessarily worse, but I don't know, just something about this one. Ah, phenomenal. And there's a slight fruitiness on the lid here now. Makes it a little playful almost. Absolutely stunning. It's every bit as good as I remember it being when I tried it for the first time. And given how different the settings are under which I'm drinking this tea, given how different the water is between Gabriela's place and the water I'm using here, I'm very glad to be able to say that it is still as much of a standout tea as it was back then. I think more than anything, this speaks to just how genuinely good this tea is, because kind of almost regardless of which setting you put it in, it's still gonna perform. It still has these kind of inalienable qualities to it that make it stand head and shoulders above a lot of other tea. Oh. By the way, before I forget, if you're enjoying me doing these dives into Yancha here on the channel, because I've certainly been enjoying them, please leave a like, post a comment, talk about some of your own favorite Yancha, talk about this one if you've tried it. I'd love to hear your impressions. And make sure to subscribe to the nannuoshan YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's 100% worth it, I promise. And I think I need to say the exact same thing about this tea. It's 100% worth it. I promise. I'm not a Yancha expert by any means, but I think it will be very easy, regardless of whether you're very experienced with Yancha or not, to notice that there is something quite special, quite remarkable about this tea. And I don't know, this is something I want to have some of just around, have available for hopefully a long time to come, because it's extremely good, and I feel like it's rare to really get access to such a good tea. And there's of course always the question of like, if you notice or you have an opportunity, then should you really let that slip by? Obviously, when it comes to tea, I try to take people's kind of fears away and usually say that good tea is always going to come around, and if you end up missing out on one particular thing, there's always going to be an opportunity in the future. But at the same time, I think being in the field of tea also means that when you do notice a genuine opportunity and you have the means to pursue it, then you should take that opportunity. Be it by being given access to a particularly good tea, or through other means, be it connecting with people in the world of tea. Anything really. This is the last steep of this video. Again, I'm extremely happy that this tea ended up being how I remembered it. It's hard to put into words how good this tea really is. I just really love it a lot, and I'll confidently say that this probably remains as my number one tea from all of the ones I tried back in May. It's so good in every way. The mouthfeel on this one is a little bit lighter compared to the higher roasted offerings this year, but I think ultimately it's about balance and harmony and how well the tea as a whole works. And the slightly lighter mouthfeel of this one works perfectly in conjunction with how much this tea's flavor stays with you and just is, yeah, exactly, never ending. Because this one doesn't need to coat your mouth as much as maybe some of the higher roasted teas do, because somehow the flavor and fragrance still just stay there. They're not gonna let go. And this tea is just so good. I could probably keep drinking and talking about this for quite a while, at least until the tea has run its course. But unfortunately, these videos also do need to end at some point. And I think for now I've said all I've had to say about this tea. I hope you give it a try. If there's only one yancha you try from nannuoshan this year, please make it this one. I think there are few teas out there that are more worth your time than this tea in particular. So please do yourself a favor and give the Wusandi Laocong Shui Xian a try. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.